Well, good afternoon everybody and welcome to a freezing cold day in November here at Turn 7. Today our topic is noises. So we're constantly contacted by people, generally new owners, people who are getting used to their first Caterhams, asking us, my car's making this noise, should it make that noise? So we thought we'd take you on a little run out in a few cars and pick up on some of the more common noises that Caterhams do make that your normal cars won't make. Now the first one I want to talk to you about is Diff whine. Now Diff whine is really common in the Caterham industry, and you can get Diff whine from both open and limited slip differentials. Now this is a limited slip differential in this car, and just as we approach 55 miles an hour, we start to hear this whine coming in over our shoulders. Now typically as you accelerate, that noise will probably dissipate. They generally have a very specific window in which they make that noise. Right there, 60 miles an hour. And that will vary from car to car. Now this is probably a 7 out of 10 in terms of how noisy they can get. But it is normal. It is something that you will get from normal Caterhams. And the reality is that actually it's not as easy as just having your diff serviced or putting different oil in it. There's not a lot you can do that's going to correct that. Let's listen to it build up again. There we go. Another really common noise that we're asked about here is a vibration from the gearbox. Sounds a bit like that if you can make it out. This typically comes on as you're slowing down, and it's usually worst in whichever ratio is 1:1. So with a 5-speed gearbox, your 4th gear is a 1:1 ratio, and in a 6-speed gearbox it's 6th gear. So if we just build up a little bit of speed, get into 4th gear, that's really very normal. So just before I take you out in this heavily upgraded Sigma car, I thought I'd just bring up a quick note about clutches and gearboxes. Most Caterhams will chatter. Well, if you sit there at idle with your foot off the clutch, you'll get this chattering through the gearbox, and if you press your foot down on the clutch, you'll find that will probably just go away. And that's again one of those really normal noises that people ask about. Now this one has been heavily upgraded by a well-known engine builder called Premier Power, and have fitted their ultra lightweight flywheel and clutch, which means that when I press the clutch on this car, we get this really strange chattering noise. Typically the lighter the flywheel is, the more you hear that noise. So I'm going to take you out on a quick run in this and show you what I'm talking about. Oh, so the lightweight flywheel is just a lovely option. It just means that the engine just spools up that much faster when you jump on the throttle. It's just super sensitive. But you also get more engine braking, and because you get more engine braking, you get more vibration being sent through the gearbox. So what you get when you lift off is this judder, this backlash through the transmission. There you go. And you get an amount of that from every Caterham. It's always there. It's just that heavier flywheels help to mask that. They just dampen it. And you generally get a bit more of that vibrating from a Duratec engine than you do anything else, so that's perfectly normal. The most notable noise from this car that we're going to pick up on is the diff knock. So as we get on and off the power, you get that knock in the rear. Some do that a lot and others don't do it very much. but it is a perfectly normal noise in the Caterham world. Your diff isn't going to fall out. Of course, some of the noises these things make are just wonderful noises. Now the truth is that all Caterhams make noises, and you know, most of them are really common, but they all vary. Every single Caterham is different. Some will be really loud with diff whine and really quiet with knocking. Some will knock a lot more and less whine, and that's just differentials. Some make lots of noise from the gearboxes. They're just all very different. So knowing when you've got an experience of one car exactly what is right and what isn't is very, very difficult, and we understand that. And for the avoidance of doubt, if you're ever unsure about the noises that your car is making, just take it to your local Caterham specialist and get them to check it out, or come and see us. God, I'm glad this car's got a heater. It's about 1 degree out there, hence the super cool driving gloves. Well, there we are, back at turn 7. We hope you found that helpful. If you've got anything that you'd like us to debunk for you, or something that's just troubling you and you want some answers, just drop it in the comments below and we'll have a look at it for you. But for now, that's another turn 7 video, and we'll see you again next time. The one thing I can never stop coming back to is, you know, no matter how much noise these cars make, God, they're still just so much fun every time. Every time I get in one of these, I can't help but just laugh about it. They're just so much fun.
Slightly out of practice, zigged what I meant to zag, flew it to the tree.
Oh dear, is it alright? I didn't knock that camera over, I really didn't. It's always like that, sir. It only fell over very gently, in fairness. Bye bye viewers, bye bye!